Meghan Markle may publicly decry the scrutiny that comes with being a royal, but one can't help but wonder if deep down she's quite satisfied with all the attention she commands as Prince Harry's wife. From the moment she entered the royal spotlight, Meghan seemed poised to carve out her own path, leveraging her marriage into a platform for influence and acclaim. Yet, amidst her claims of seeking privacy and reprieve from the media glare, Meghan's actions often speak louder than her words. Since stepping into the royal fold, Meghan has deftly navigated the world stage, from glamorous appearances to high-profile philanthropic endeavors. Her marriage to Harry brought her unprecedented fame and global recognition, transforming her from a former actress to a global icon. It's a transformation that seems to have fueled Meghan's ambition, allowing her to champion causes close to her heart, while simultaneously courting the spotlight she claims to disdain. While she has spoken out against the press and the pressures of royal life, Meghan has also embraced the opportunities it affords her. From launching charitable initiatives to gracing magazine covers, Meghan has adeptly woven herself into the fabric of celebrity culture, while maintaining a facade of humility and service. It's a delicate balancing act that raises questions about her true motivations and desires. Does Meghan truly wish for a life away from the limelight, or does she relish the attention and influence that comes with her royal status? Her actions suggest a calculated strategy to both engage with the public and control her narrative, often at the expense of the traditional royal protocol she claims to respect. As she continues to navigate the complexities of her role, one thing remains clear. Meghan Markle's ambition is as undeniable as it is shrewdly executed, leaving observers to ponder where her priorities truly lie in the spectrum of fame, duty, and personal fulfillment. Moreover, certainly she is not content being fifth in line, second row, or 12th table. She is such a psycho that standing behind Catherine made her flee the country and cry to Oprah. Meghan thought she and Harry would move to America and be the king and queen of people's hearts while using their duke and duchess titles. Remember when Meghan and Harry went on Oprah and said the family is jealous of her and she reminded them of Diana? Oh hell, that was hilarious and fascinating, and I remember thinking, wow, she has a very high opinion of herself, and Harry really is the idiot everyone says he is. Remember there were reports saying that Meghan and Harry were going to be global leaders? Again, hilarious. And how are they going to be global leaders when they can't even do a decent job as a duke and duchess? Remember how Harry said the First Amendment was bonkers, and how he tries to silence anyone who reports negatively about him and his precious wife, who he thinks is Diana 2.0, but uses the same press to put out puff piece after puff piece of misinformation about him and his wife. Remember how Harry lectures everyone on climate change but takes private jets everywhere? Remember when Meghan and Harry implied the monarchy was racist and there was a royal racist in the family? Then Harry hilariously walked that back with Tom Bradby, while Tom Bradby was looking at him like, "What an idiot." Exactly, Tom, why did you even give the idiot a platform? Remember when they tried to muscle Spotify into dropping Joe Rogan because they felt his content was misinformation, but really, they just couldn't come up with any content and use that as an excuse for not putting out content? Remember when they urged world leaders to support Ukraine? This one still makes me laugh because they thought they had enough clout as world leaders themselves. Remember how every time the royal family has a huge event, they go to a concert or a hockey game? Is that what they are calling world leadership? Again, hilarious. Remember when Meghan was shoved off the red, it was really black, carpet because she can't stand to be out of the spotlight? Remember how Harry's family tried to warn him over and over and over and over that Meghan was bad news, and he threw a little man-baby hissy fit, and he's now mad at the royal family because they were right? Remember when they were called fucking grifters and talentless by people in the industry? Remember when they bought all those pay-for-play awards so that Meghan could get on the stage and give a speech? Oh, how the mighty have fallen. After all of this, they still blame the royal family for their unpopularity. The world now sees what the royal family was seeing in the beginning, and Harry is pissed that the whole world can see it. Harry can only bury his head in the sand for so long before people start to wonder if racist Harry really is completely brain-dead. Is Harry ever going to pull his head out of Meghan's ass long enough to get a temperature or read a room? No, he's not, because he's not content being Harry. He wants to be William, and Meghan wants to be Catherine. Throughout their lives, they throw a fit when they don't get what they want, and what has been happening for the last 5 or 6 years. I thought it was wonderful when Harry and Meghan were dating, and I couldn't wait to see how Meghan, Harry, Catherine, and William would shape the monarchy. I had no clue how petulant Harry could be. I actually believed he was just spirited. Two narcissists colliding turn into Harry and Meghan. It's fascinating, simply fascinating. It reminds me of Paul Bernardo and Carla Homolka. But wait, I'm afraid I've never much cared for Harry. Yes, he could charm occasionally, but I didn't like the fighting, the drunkenness, the naked dancing, the swastika, and killing polo ponies, too. I believe, though, I personally only saw one. I remember him shooting animals in Africa, etc., 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 too much for me to actually like the... But another part that I find fascinating is the fact that I believe Oprah and even Tyler Perry were initially helping out the couple because they themselves believed wholeheartedly that Harry and Meghan were out to destroy the monarchy and destroy the racist colonial background that most global monarchies have in their histories. However, in reality, Meghan for sure has only ever wanted to be Catherine, and she wanted Harry to be William so that they could be king and queen. So to try and accomplish this, she definitely fed the rampant jealousy Harry has for William and all the unfairnesses Harry felt in his life, to get Harry to try and promote really stupid things to supposedly modernize the monarchy, like sharing the throne or sharing the proceeds from the Duchy of Cornwall, and I find that very, very ironic. It's the epitome of saying one thing and doing another, like typical hypocrites swallowed up by their jealousy and greed. To talk about Meghan's motive for marrying Harry, I have to call it motive because they didn't get together because of love. I'm not sure about Harry because maybe he was drugged by that woman which made him lethargic, but as for Meghan, she has researched, calculated, and planned a lot. She did many wrong things and could be said to violate the law. My personal opinion is that Meghan Markle 100% liked the stardom and attention that came with marrying Prince Harry. As an actress, she was used to audiences and being the center of attention. There have been a lot of comments as to her wanting to modernize the monarchy and thought with her background, she could make changes and be honored for making these changes. There are those who look at the royals as having wealth beyond belief and who basically show up for meetings and get great publicity and live in huge castles. Obviously, the royal family does have wealth and castles, but a check of their diaries, calendars, shows in most cases many busy days and a standard of conduct and dress. Having said that, what would happen to someone with the expectations above to find out how controlled life in the royal family is? If one likes or expects to be the center of attention, what happens when one finds that they have to curtsy to other members of the family, that the Queen controls where one lives, manners at dinner, and how one dresses? So, the high expectations of the position compared with reality were certainly a challenge. Before or now, Meghan was never a Hollywood starlet. She was a poor D, mediocre second-class participant in a soap series, mainly playing sex scenes. Nothing ever royal, dignified, respectful, conscientious, dutiful in that woman. There is more royalty in a poor tramp begging in the street. She was hoping that marrying the dim-witted, unintelligent, arrogant man-child may open the celluloid world doors, but it did not work out that way, did it? Despite pushing, begging, and pleading, despite Harry almost going down on his knees to get her any part, nothing is coming forward. The two grifters and scroungers are running out of options, friends, and money. More and more people have realized that Harry and Meghan are two despicable, dastardly, narcissistic liars and elderly abusers, family haters, and family destroyers. No decent human being wants to be associated with those destructive grifters. She is sticking in the mud. She can't go back to acting until she gets divorced. She can't go back to the firm because she can't do her work. She married the prince, but he is not so rich, just his name only. What else will she do in the future? Raised and roasted chicken, perhaps. I believe that many people are like me, wasn't even aware of her before Meghan and Harry started dating. She seemed nice enough at first, and Harry seemed happy, so I was pleased they were getting married. Since then, however, with all of the kerfuffle surrounding them, I'm appalled at their behavior. Besides what the tabloids and Quora posters were saying, and to get to a more unbiased idea of them, I read Tom Boyer's book. Why Tom's version of events? Well, he's a well-respected writer of biographies, he's a lawyer, so is meticulous about writing actual facts, which he always has evidence to back up, and he knows the law. To say I was disappointed in the way Meghan conducted herself was an understatement. Not knowing of her beforehand, I only realized that she was biracial once she brought it up. No big deal for me, I know, and have many biracial friends. I was amazed at her behavior, nothing to do with her ancestry, and all to do with her personality, which, in my opinion, is of someone I wouldn't want to be associated with. Lying and bullying of anyone, whether they're in service or not, is completely unacceptable. Therefore, I was pleased when she and Harry said they were leaving the royal family and pursuing a life overseas, where they'd be happy and we wouldn't have to put up with them. But no, they've continued to act childishly and selfishly ever since. The programs and books have turned my stomach with their need to constantly be in the spotlight, for money. They whinge and moan about their circumstances when others in the world are persecuted, tortured, starved, wrongfully imprisoned, and generally live an abominable life. They don't know how lucky they are and should just shut up and get on with their anonymous and quiet lives. She fully expected piles of money, jewels, and round-the-clock luxury along with a title she thought she could upgrade. She had a rude awakening and ran off to Hollywood, where everyone would bow and scrape, big money movie deals would fall from the sky, and everyone would adore her because she was a duchess. Her reputation today is a result of her own actions. She has no one to blame but herself. On the other hand, if two people come together not because of love but with calculation, divorce or leaving each other is inevitable. That's just a matter of before and after. Just as soon as he ceases to be useful to her ambitions, that's what she's done to every other male in her life. The problem is, as a typical narcissist, she fails to see that the only reason anyone gives her the time of day is because she is married to Harry. When they divorce, Harry will go back to the UK, probably after paying Meghan a ton of money to give him custody of the visa kids and stay away. Attention will follow him. What is he doing? Who is he seeing? Meghan will flail around, spend a ton of money trying to look important, probably latch onto a much older wealthy man, and then sink into the obscurity she deserves. No one in their right mind would want her. No doubt she'd latch onto any man who had extreme wealth for her unlimited use. She'd BJ her way into his world, just like she did to dumb Harry. A man of great wealth would want a trophy wife, someone with a working uterus and good taste, someone he would be proud of. That's definitely not Meghan by a long shot. Until his accountant started telling him that the interest on his inheritance investment ceased covering all Meghan's expenses, and her extravagances had eaten into the principal in a dangerous way. Then she'll dump him. I don't see any sugar daddy having any use for a dried-up old yacht prostitute with 2 young children who have become the most hated, evil woman in the world. King Charles's family shut her out of their lives before any major damage was done. Apparently, King Charles was meeting that woman at hotels, writing it off as a business meeting, and then there's a large donation deposited into Archewell. In her words to the Queen, service is universal. That's the only way she will get the life she believes in her narcissistic delusions that she deserves, is through her sexual expertise. It's all she knows about earning a living. But she can sell the prestige of having a prince and princess as stepchildren to a socially ambitious and wealthy climber, willing to put up with and pay the expenses for a narcissist. That was a bad move on King Charles's part. He's talked about streamlining the monarchy. He should have started by limiting the titles prince and princess to the children of the heir, or at least delayed it as a change under consideration. What he's done by giving those children titles is to turn them into a bargaining chip for Meghan to use to negotiate a high-dollar settlement in return for giving Harry custody in a divorce, or they'll be a commodity for her to sell to the highest bidder if she gets custody. Well, that's all for today's video. Thank you very much for watching our video, and I want to know what you think about these issues. Please express your opinion in the comments below. Hope you will always be cheerful and happy. Don't forget to support us by liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. Goodbye and see you again in the next videos.